Hello YouTube friends. Recently Graham asked me about my maintenance regime in my Seahorse Fry nursery, a 15-gallon tall aquarium. Every night I turn off the electricity, the switch for my hang on the back power filter, and then I use this small siphoning tube that has a little extension at the bottom, a little water start bulb, a little flow restrictor on it, and then I remove the lid. Next, I take off the extension tube that has the sponge on it to protect the babies from going in, and then I check and make sure no babies are stuck on it because sometimes they hang on with their tails. Then I use my little vacuuming tool here. Notice that it has a little flat piece that prevents the babies from getting sucked up too easily. And I more or less just clean up as much as I can on the bottom of the tank, trying to be careful not to suck up any babies. It does happen sometimes. I just put them back when it does happen. As they get bigger, it does happen less and less. But I try to get the whole tank pretty much vacuumed up. It's never going to be perfect. Once that's done, in the water that I collected in the bucket from siphoning, I rinse out the sponge and the intake that it's attached to there, and I return it to its position on the power filter. I turn the power back on. Notice I have a special switch that I plug that into. And then I get some seawater that's already prepared. It's been sitting and it's been circulating with a power head, and I just scoop out some seawater and I add it back into the tank. And usually it's about, depending on how much I vacuum out, anywhere from a half gallon to 2 gallons. And this is every day I do this. Helps keep the water clean, the tank clean. On the weekends, I do a more thorough cleaning. So here you see me using a plastic scrubber. I clean the tank sidewalls, the front wall, and also the bottom as well as I can. And it looks like the power filter is still running here. I don't like to leave that off too long, but notice I do leave the back wall because I'm trying to grow algae back there for the copepods and small creatures to hide in and populate. And then I take a toothbrush and I try to clean off the decorations. I don't worry about getting them completely clean, just getting the surplus off so it doesn't build up too bad, because creatures do tend to populate on the decorations as well, and the fry do pick at those decorations to get the food. So I took off the sponge again, and I'm going to put that in the bucket. But also part of the cleaning process, I've already turned off the power filter. While all of that debris is settling, I clean the glass. This is just an old glass lid. It's actually separated, and I didn't replace it because I kind of like it separated like that. So I get that cleaned off, and once I'm done scrubbing with that toothbrush, I just set them up and let them dry while I go back to the tank. And then just like I do every night, I vacuum, but now there's going to be a lot more because I scrubbed debris off of the tank walls and from the decor. While I'm at it, I take my toothbrush and I scrub a little bit of the algae that's growing on the outtake of the power filter. But then I also take out the media basket in the power filter. So that's the ceramic media in a bag and also the little sponge filter. And I rinse those out in the tank water that I collected when I did the vacuuming. It's important to use the same water so I'm not killing off too many of the good nitrifying bacteria. Let them colonize on there. And of course, then I return the pad. I return the ceramic media that I have in the bag. Put them in that basket, and I put the basket back in the power filter. And then once again, I rinse out that intake with the sponge on it, and I return the sponge. I turn the power filter back on, and once again, I replenish the water that was taken out during the vacuuming. So you can see the vacuuming serves the purpose of not only cleaning up the bottom and preventing too much debris, but it does a small water change. And this is every night, but again, this is the weekend routine with the extra cleaning. So I am returning the lids to their position, putting the light back in its place. I wipe off the top of the power filter lid, and then I just wipe down the outside of the tank just to keep it looking kind of clean. And this is pretty much my routine that I do every week. If I weren't working full time, I might do some of these things more often, but this is the schedule that works for me. After a little bit of time, you can see the tank starts to clear up. Normally the debris clouds things up after a water change when things are stirred up, but things have settled down pretty good. That is my daily and weekly maintenance routine for my Seahorse Fry tank, 15 gallons tall. Thanks so much for watching. Take care and see you next time.